He sat on a bench, feeling forgotten. But one conversation changed everything. What do small acts really mean in a life of change? Stay tuned to find out how simple choices can transform your world. He woke before dawn, the way he had done for many years. The room felt large now. The clock ticked in a slow, clear way. He made tea and watched the steam curl and fade. He listened for footsteps in the hall. No one came. His son had moved to a new city. His daughter worked late most days. His grandchildren went to school and clubs and screens. His wife had left the world a few winters ago. He stood by the window and tried to name the colors in the sky. He counted the birds. He counted the buses. He counted the minutes. Counting did not help. He had worked for 4 decades. He always had a list then. Meetings, targets, reports, people who needed him every hour. Now he had no list. He had a calendar. The pages were blank. He tried to fill them. Lunch with son? The answer was, maybe next week. Walk with daughter? The answer was, I have a deadline. Time with the kids? The answer was, exam soon. He did not push. He said he understood. He did understand, but the rooms did not. He left the house and walked to the park. The gate was painted green. The paint was old and flaked like dry leaves. He liked that. The path bent like a river. He liked that too. He chose a bench that was half in sun and half in shade. He sat on the border and moved inch by inch like a slow game. A stray dog trotted past. 2 boys raced their bicycles. A street vendor sold roasted corn. The kernels popped in small bursts. The sound made him smile. For a while, the park felt like a station. Everyone had a place to get to. He had nowhere to get to, so he stayed. On the 2nd day, he returned to the same bench. On the 3rd day, too. The bench knew him now. He brought a notebook and a blue pen. He did not write yet. He only held the pen. It was good to hold something. On the 4th day, an older man sat on the far end of the bench. His hair was white and fell like threads. He wore a clean shirt and sandals that had seen many roads. He carried no bag, no book, no phone. He had bright eyes like lamps set low. The first man nodded. The second man nodded back. They did not talk. On the 5th day they greeted each other. "Good morning," said the first man. "Good morning," said the second man. Silence stretched between them like a rope pulled gently. Birds hopped in the dust. A kite drifted overhead, its tail twitching like a fish. The second man pointed at the kite. "That boy has short string," he said. "He keeps it close. The kite cannot roam, but it will not break. Some days you need long string. Some days you hold tight." The first man listened. It felt like the start of something. He did not name it. He was careful with names now. On the 6th day, the first man spoke of small things. He spoke of tea and buses and birds. The second man did not rush him. He waited for each word to settle. Then he asked a question. "What do you carry that is heavy but has no shape?" The first man stared at the path. He could not find a word. The second man picked up a dry leaf and crumbled it. "Unease," he said. "It has no edges." "It fills the whole pocket," the old man nodded. He did not like the word, but it was the right one. He felt it land inside him like a stone that had stopped rolling. He told the second man about his days. He said he had time. He said his family had no time. He said he tried to be kind. He said the rooms were still not kind back. The second man listened and asked short questions. "When do you feel most awake? Who are you when no one calls your name? What do your hands want to do? What did you do as a boy when you were bored?" The questions made small doors in his mind. He opened each door and peered in. "I used to fix things," he said. "Broken radios, wobbly stools. A clock that ticked too fast. I used to draw maps of our neighborhood. I knew where the mango trees grew. I knew where the sweetest water came from. I liked to draw lines and mark places." He paused. "Then I grew up and the maps changed. The lines were deadlines, the places were offices." He laughed at his own joke. The second man laughed too, but gently as if laughter were a towel being wrung out. On the 7th day they met at the bench again. The second man brought 2 roasted corns. He handed one over with a small bow. "Eat," he said. "Food helps speech." The first man took a bite. The kernels gave way in a soft pop. The salt stuck to his lips. He spoke. My son works in a tall building. He talks about numbers and screens. My daughter writes for a magazine. She talks about interviews and edits. The kids speak a new language. It has GIFs and emojis and streaks. I try to match their speed. I cannot. I do not want them to slow down for me, but I also do not want to stand still. The second man nodded. Standing still can be a kind of walk, he said. You walk back to yourself? The first man frowned. I do not know that man now, he said, the one I am when no one calls. The second man tapped the bench. The bench knows him, he said. This wood remembers the shape you make when you sit. It learns your weight. You can learn your weight too. He saw the confusion, so he tried a new path. Tell me what you did this morning. I made tea, said the first man. I watched the steam. I counted buses. Good, said the second man. Now next day change one thing. Add a new small act, a clear one. After tea I will sweep the steps, or after tea I will oil the door hinge, or after tea I will draw a line on a map. Do it each day until the act becomes warm, then add a second act. Do not add 10, add 1, like small knots on a rope. You can hold them when the wind is strong. The old man felt a shift, like a cartwheel finding a groove. He wrote in his notebook, after tea sweep the steps. He wrote it again to make it stick. The second man watched and did not speak. The sound of the pen was a soft scratch like a cricket in the grass. The next morning he swept the steps. The broom moved dust and old petals and a small brown beetle that found a new path. He oiled the door hinge and listened to the new quiet. He traced a map of the block and marked the trees with little dots. At noon he called his daughter and asked about her day. He did not ask for a visit. He did not say he was lonely. He only said, I heard a new bird today. She asked, What bird? He said, I don't know yet. She said, record it when you hear it next time. It was a small exchange, like 2 coins passing hands, but it felt fair and bright. Days turned in a clean way. He began to rise with a clearer aim. He walked to the park with a notebook in his shirt pocket. He wrote short lines and left space between them, the way a good field has space for air and sun. He learned the routines of others. The vendor arrived at 8. The joggers thinned by 9. A group of old friends met by the banyan tree and clapped while they did slow movements. He joined them once. He could not do the whole set, but he liked the clapping. He met the second man on the bench most days. They did not speak of grand themes. They spoke of handles and hinges and string. A day has good handles, said the second man. Morning handle, noon handle, evening handle. If you grab each one and turn it, the door opens. The first man laughed. And what is behind the door? He asked. Another handle, said the second man with a grin. One day the first man came with a heavy thought. It sat on his tongue and would not leave. He forced it out. What am I now? He asked. I was a manager at the factory. I had a card and a title. It gave me a shape. People stood when I entered a room. Now the rooms are empty and I am just a man. He wanted to swallow the words back, but they were out in the sun. He felt bare. The second man looked at the pond. A thin green film moved with the light wind. Do you see the caretaker there? He asked. The caretaker was a young woman with a shovel and a bucket. She cleaned the edges of the pond. Her job is to keep the water clear, said the second man. But watch her when no one watches. She picks trash from the path too. She fixes a loose tile. She feeds the street dog with her lunch. She carries no title for those acts, yet the park is kinder because of them. Roles matter. But acts matter more. A title is a hat you can put on another hat, yet your hands remain your hands. The old man breathed out. The air felt new in his chest. So I need a new hat, he said, smiling a little. You need many hats, said the second man. But start with one, a small one. Worn hats fit best. He chose a hat the next day. He saw a broken plank on the old bridge over the drainage stream. Children played near it. It bothered him like a pebble in a shoe. He went home, took a hammer and a few nails and returned. He checked the wood for rot, propped the plank, and drove the nails in. He sanded the edges with a bit of folded paper. Two boys watched in quiet respect. "Are you a carpenter?" one asked. "I am a neighbor," he said. He liked the sound of that more than the long title on the old card. He took a new hat the day after. He carried a small bag and a roll of plastic sacks. He walked the edges of the pond and filled the sacks with the green scum that had gathered near the stones. He hauled them to the compost pit by the gardener's shed. He rested on the bench and wiped his brow. The second man arrived and nodded at the damp marks on his shirt. "You found a handle," he said. The old man nodded back. His lungs felt busy and his mind felt clear.